Well, look, I want to jump into it here. You've got an incredible book and all sorts of really interesting IP. And, I'll just jump into it. You've called this, quote unquote, the largest human experiment ever. And according to the latest numbers I saw from you, and those are probably higher, more than 5.41 billion people worldwide have received a dose of some type of COVID-19 vaccine, equal to about 70% of the world population. I want to talk about what that means and the ramifications. I had a flashback today to November 11th, 2020, Robert, when I had Dr. Martin Kulldorff on this show. We streamed it live on our Digital Freedom platform because YouTube had been giving us strikes and banning us for months before that. He had just written the Great Barrington Declaration alongside a bunch of other scientists and was talking about how, statistically it didn't make sense because a lot of the deaths were coming from a very small percentage of the population, usually an older population, and they were just running the data and asking some questions. Three very top-level scientists, I think Stanford, Harvard, and Oxford, I think they were. And there was one point, Robert,
all full professors of epidemiology,
yeah,
as about as qualified as you could possibly get.
Yeah, very much so. And one thing I said to him towards the end, and I just watched the clip back, I'm going to post it to my social and see how long it lasts, is I said, Martin, we're about to vaccinate billions of people. I said, more so than any atomic weapon, any genocide, isn't this the biggest risk we've ever taken with the entire human population ever? I said, usually we take 10, 15, 20 years to come to vaccinations. This one's been developed in less than a year. And again, Martin wasn't necessarily, against the vaccination, but he kind of had to pause and say, yeah, this is a big chance that we're taking. And that always struck me as a guy who was quite objective. He just kind of had a pause and said, this really is a big unknown. And as a scientist, and I have an MIT degree in engineering, I'm not a doctor, but I just thought this is a big experiment to make.
MIT degree in engineering is pretty solid. I don't think you have to apologize.
So I remember asking him that, Robert, and I had a flashback when I was just preparing for this. Of course, fast forward, I guess about 2 years later. And by the way, at the time, there was nobody really having these conversations. We were one of the few that was fortunate enough to have a lot of different people on putting these ideas out there, just trying to get the information out. But it really struck me as this big question mark. And now fast forward to where we are today. Maybe just start off with some of your thoughts as far as that number of people, some type of vaccine, what we know, what we don't know. Is this the biggest risk we've ever taken with humanity?
Well, it's certainly the largest experiment I think we've ever conducted. And the vaccines, quote unquote, and there are many that will shoot at me for even using the term vaccine in this context, are only one of many of these massive public health experiments that we've performed globally. The others being the lockdowns in particular and social distancing, mask use, etc. Just a moment ago, my wife brought me the latest analysis on masking from the group in the UK that does a lot of the meta-analysis, and they've clearly concluded that the masking is not statistically significant in its impact, and most of these measures now have been shown to be at best ineffective and at worst massively damaging, particularly when you factor in the impacts on children. Martin, I agree with you. Martin is absolutely not a firebrand. He is a very cautious, balanced individual. He is, even compared to Harvard Reich, he is very cautious, as is Jay Bhattacharya, who's maintained his position at Stanford as a full professor. And was the one, by the way, that I'm talking about the other Great Barrington Declaration authors, just for the context for the audience. Jay Bhattacharya, full professor of epidemiology at Stanford, was the one that Elon Musk asked in to evaluate the information that we now call the Twitter files initially. And within a couple of days of Jay visiting headquarters for Twitter in Silicon Valley, was when my account got turned back on, as well as Peter McCullough and a few others. So shout out to that. Another thing regarding Great Barrington, the real catalyst for that was actually Jeffrey Tucker, who runs the Brownstone Institute. You may or may not read the articles from Brownstone, but they have absolutely been at the forefront of citizen journalism all the way through this, and have done really the best work in tracking down the events involved in, let's call it, assimilation of the China model through the national security apparatus in the United States that then got propagated down through Homeland Security, DOD, and Health and Human Services. So just a shout out to Brownstone and Jeffrey Tucker for their leadership. Jeffrey told me the story of what happened with Brownstone. The actual with Great Barrington, the actual site that gives it its name, the Great Barrington Declaration, really regrets having hosted that meeting, apparently. And what I'm told is that to a significant extent, so did the three leading epidemiologists. They really had no idea that they had kicked the hornet's nest until suddenly all the blowback came back from all of the fact checkers and corporate media, et cetera, much as we've all encountered. I think they were really gobstruck by what they encountered.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.